So apparently, Super Bowl halftime now comes with a DLC pack. Because this year, the NFL had the official halftime show, Bad Bunny, largely in Spanish, and Turning Point USA rolled out an alternative halftime show at the exact same time, Kid Rock and a lineup of country artists. And the internet did what it always does. One side said, cultural enrichment, historic. The other side said, cultural insurrection in a foreign language. And within about 5 minutes, we had the weirdest argument imaginable. People are totally fine with the so-called Black National Anthem, which is Lift Every Voice and Sing, being performed before the Super Bowl year after year, well, since 2021. But then some of those same voices saw a TPUSA counter show featuring country music and started throwing around the word racist. Make it make sense. Actually, don't bother, because it doesn't. So today we're doing what the mainstream won't. What people are saying versus what actually happened, and what this means going forward. Because, spoiler alert, we just witnessed a proof of concept moment that could change how these mega events work. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Critical Nerd. If you're a returning subscriber, I humbly say thank you. Thank you for your support over the last couple of years. And you already know the deal. Keep your expectations low and your receipts high. And if you're new here, welcome to the circus. Stick around. Check this video out. I do cover things, pop culture, Hollywood nonsense, and the clown show we're forced to live in with corporate hypocrisy, media double standards, and entertainment industry failures served hot and fresh. Oh, a quick favor though, because, YouTube loves engagement. If you would take the time, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, because YouTube's algorithm is allergic to common sense. And you're going to want this one in your feed. All right, let's get into it. Let's get the facts straight before the media spins us into confetti. Bad Bunny headlines the halftime show Super Bowl 60 at Levi's Stadium. First Latino solo headliner. First predominantly Spanish language halftime performance in Super Bowl history. About 13 minutes of what one commentator very lovingly described as illegal immigration, the musical. Now, before anyone screams at me or, starts typing in the comments, yes, I do know Puerto Ricans are American citizens. That's not the argument here. Here's the point. Bad Bunny's brand has been openly political in recent years, including immigration messaging. There were headlines and clips floating around all week. Quotes, moments, and gestures. So pretending this was just vibes is, well, adorable. So no, we're not talking about some apolitical artist who just wandered onto America's biggest stage. This was always going to be read as a cultural statement, whether you liked it or not. Now, here's where people need to stop hallucinating. TPUSA did not take over the Super Bowl broadcast. They didn't hijack NBC. Nobody stormed the control room with a cowboy hat and a guitar. What they did was run a separate live stream alternative at the exact same time, about 25 minutes. Kid Rock headlining, plus Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. Marketed as celebrating faith, family, and freedom. According to multiple write-ups and viewers, it was mostly just music. No big political monologues mid-song, no halftime filibuster, just an America vibe, some branding, and a crowd that wanted an alternative. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where the story gets interesting and where the coverage gets, we'll just say, selective. TPUSA YouTube channel reportedly peaked at around 5.1 million concurrent viewers. Charlie Kirk's YouTube simulcast reportedly hit around 956,000 concurrent viewers. Known YouTube-only total, approximately 6.1 million watching live. And that's before you even talk about other platforms that carried it. Those numbers aren't necessarily included in the YouTube count. So whether it's 6 million, 8 million, 10 million, whatever the final total ends up being, the key point is this. These weren't passive viewers who happened to see it. They made a conscious choice. They found the stream. They clicked play. They opted out. And millions did exactly that. Now, here's the part I really don't want to gloss over. For anyone who hasn't been following this since 2021, the NFL has performed Lift Every Voice and Sing, often labeled as the Black National Anthem, as part of the Super Bowl pregame lineup. So now you've got Lift Every Voice and Sing, America the Beautiful, the U.S. National Anthem, 3 big patriotic moments before kickoff. When this started, some conservatives pushed back with the obvious argument: America has one national anthem, stop turning everything into politics. And the response from a lot of the mainstream voices was immediate. Oh, you object? Then you're racist. How dare you? Now let's fast forward to 2026. You've got Bad Bunny at halftime. TPUSA announces a counter show, and suddenly certain daytime TV panels and blue checkmark commentators become the Supreme Court of what's racist, what's divisive, what counts, and what doesn't. So let me get the rules straight. Multiple patriotic songs before the game, that's inclusive and beautiful. Object to it, you're racist. Alternative halftime show for people who want country music instead, also racist. Here's the honest framing nobody wants to admit. This isn't just hypocrisy, it's worse. It's tribal consistency. A lot of people on the left view Lift Every Voice as inclusion, recognition, and representation. A lot of people on the right view it as political insertion into what should be a neutral sports event. Now let's flip it. A lot of people on the right see TPUSA's alternative show as finally an option. A lot of people on the left see it as counter-programming that signals exclusion, especially in a year where the official headliner was Spanish language and culture forward. People aren't reacting to a consistent standard. They're reacting to whether something belongs in their version of America. And here's the punchline. Only one side gets to throw racist like a grenade, and then act shocked when people stop taking them seriously. So now we have to look at what people are saying versus reality. Claim number 1, TPUSA's show beat the NFL. Define beat. Nobody with a functioning brain is saying the Super Bowl broadcast didn't do massive numbers. That's not the point. The point is that TPUSA demonstrated something the entertainment industry doesn't want you to internalize. There is a massive audience willing to actively choose an alternative during the biggest TV event of the year. That's the story, not replacement or could say fragmentation. Monoculture isn't dying someday, it's dying in real time. Claim number 2, the NFL halftime show was just music, stop making it political. The reality? Come on. Halftime hasn't been just music in years. Every choice is a statement. Every set piece is analyzed and every artist has a brand, especially now. So pretending there's no messaging, no symbolism, no cultural signaling, that's not seriousness, that's PR. Meanwhile, the TPUSA show, by most accounts, was basically songs, flags, branding, go home. Guess which one got branded divisive and racist by default? Claim number 3, if you watch the alternative, you're racist. Reality? Well, this is the tell. Because the label isn't about the music, it's about what it means that the audience exists and showed up and opted out. If the choice is just preference, then nobody has control. So it has to become moral condemnation. Not different strokes, not different tastes. No, you're a bad person. That's not an argument. That's a control mechanism. And of course, President Trump weighed in because it wouldn't be a proper controversy without him. He posted on Truth Social calling the halftime show absolutely terrible, saying it didn't represent America's standards of excellence and criticizing the performance and presentation. Predictably, the media response was racist, xenophobic, how dare he? But here's what makes this moment relevant. Whether you like Trump or not, he said out loud what a lot of people were already thinking. When you perform at the Super Bowl, you're not playing a niche venue. You're performing for the broadest possible audience. So when people say, I want something that feels more universally accessible, That's not automatically hatred. Sometimes it's just taste. And sometimes it's frustration at the never-ending cultural messaging. Now, here's the part that actually matters going forward, the business angle. Advertisers pay absurd money for Super Bowl spots, expecting viewers to come back after halftime. If millions are training themselves to flip to other streams during the biggest halftime window on Earth, that's a new variable, one that ad buyers didn't plan for. And whether you love or hate TPUSA, they just proved something. You can build a parallel broadcast moment inside the biggest broadcast moment. That's why this is a proof of concept story. People are learning to ask, why am I watching what they picked? When can I watch what I picked? That's not just politics. That's the internet turning everything into an a la carte menu. What happens next? Will we see more of this? Well, I believe absolutely. Because once you can prove you can pull millions during the biggest TV moment of the year, everybody will try to replicate it. Right, left, brands, creators, everyone. But here's the reality check. If TPUSA wants to grow this beyond the base, the lineup matters, production matters, execution matters, and the bigger message is simple. You're not going to infiltrate the NFL's broadcast. So you build parallel streams and let the audience choose. That's the future. Parallel streams, parallel culture, parallel reality. And the people who've controlled the culture for decades, well, they're absolutely terrified of it. All right, so here's the bottom line. The NFL didn't get replaced. TPUSA didn't take over halftime. What happened is something bigger, a measurable audience split that proves we're entering the choose your own halftime era. The same people who demand you celebrate their additions to the program will lose their minds when you create your own alternative. And then they'll call you racist for preferring a different vibe. But here's what they can't stop. They can't stop you from choosing what to watch. And that is what really scares them. So, question of the day. Respond in the comments down below. Did you watch the official halftime show or did you watch the TPUSA alternative? Myself, I watched the TPUSA alternative while I was scrolling on my iPad, social media, just to see what the reactions were. So, drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep it civil-ish. And if you would, as always, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. I'm the Critical Nerd. Keep your expectations low and your receipts high. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.